guys, and welcome back to my channel. So where have I been for the last 6 months, you're asking? Well, before I jump into all of that, I just want to start off by saying that I haven't been behind the camera in 6 months, so probably more, probably less, I'm not sure. So if I ramble a lot in this video, or if I'm not speaking clearly, it's because I haven't had practice behind the camera. So I'll just gonna apologize in advance for that. And this is probably gonna be a fairly long video just because I have a lot to update everyone on, as far as where I've been, what I've been doing, where I've been hiding, and all that good stuff. So I do apologize for having such a long absence. I had to put YouTube on the back burner for a little bit to focus on a lot of personal things that were going on in my life. And I want to get back into vlogging or posting videos, or doing both. I'm not sure. I know it's not gonna have like 100% of my attention like it was before, for a little while when I was making videos and trying to post them weekly, but I definitely want to get back into it now. So with that being said, let's jump into the reasons of why I've been gone for so long. So if you guys watched my last video a long time ago, which was it was a car vlog, and I was just zipping around kind of updating you guys on my life, I want to just pick up from there. Alex and I are still together. We're still living at my parents' house. He just got onto the fire department, so he's about to go into the academy and become a firefighter, so that's great. Everything's going well for him. And in that video I was going to talk about, or I had mentioned that I was going to talk about what happened with my son the night that he passed. And in my little head I was thinking I'll do it around his 1-year death anniversary. So when that time rolled around, you know, first of all, I didn't post it before that date just because it kind of gave me anxiety to sit in front of the camera and talk about what actually happened that night. And I probably won't be doing it anytime soon, even though I really want to, just because I really want to just put the story out there so everyone understands exactly what I went through that night and just how horrible and traumatizing it was. But it probably won't be for a while just because it's just really hard to talk about. But at the time, as the time was approaching and getting nearer, I was planning to do a video on it. And then, oh, by the way, there's probably going to be crying in this video, so I apologize. But the day of my son's 1-year anniversary, my grandma had a heart attack. And, you know, of course, of all days, we were already sad and we're already feeling horrible, and she had a heart attack, and that was on June 16th, and that was the day that my son passed. Also my older sister's birthday, so there was a lot going on that day. You know, we're trying to remember Logan, we're trying to celebrate my sister's birthday, and then we get the call that my grandma had a heart attack. Meanwhile, my grandmother is in Ohio, and this is my mother's mom. My father's mom had passed 10 months before Logan had passed. So it's just been a crazy year of sorrow and pain. So my grandmother had a heart attack, and, you know, from June 16th, for about a month, my family and I were going back and forth between Boston and Cleveland. My mom stayed there for almost a month. My grandma was hospitalized. She had a heart attack that was so severe that when they brought her to the hospital, she only had 10% of her heart working. And I won't give too many details about her situation just because I'm not sure if my mom is comfortable with me talking about it and sharing it with the world, but she was in critical condition, and, you know, I got to see her one last time, and she passed, I think it was like a month and a day later, so she passed like July 17th or 18th or something like that. So just 2-3 weeks ago. So needless to say, YouTube was the last thing on my mind, you know, and it was a really hard time. I love my grandmother so much. She kind of raised my older sister and I when we were younger because my parents would work a lot, so she would be picking us from school. Like, she was basically our nanny until I was about like 7, and then she moved to Cleveland. So I feel like when she died, like, I felt like the foundation of who I am as an individual is gone. It's a really weird feeling. And even though I had gone through the loss of my son, it was a different kind of pain, and it's really, it just sucks, you know. It's been the worst 2 years of having to deal with family dying and losing my son, and now my grandma dying, and we're still chugging along. We're still keeping things positive, you know. My family and I are so tight, and we're always laughing, and we're always looking at the brighter side of things, and we just really, you know, we leaned on each other a lot in the last year. So anyways, so my grandmother passed, you know, we went to her funeral and all that got taken care of, thank God. But that happened in June, and I think my last video was in April or something like that. I really don't remember the dates, you guys, and I'm about to tell you why. But basically, in that last car vlog that I had, I was talking to you guys about how Alex and I were trying to have a baby. And I feel bad because I was lying to you guys, because in that video I'm like totally pregnant. Yeah, I said it, I'm pregnant. And when I was doing all those like beauty videos for a while, trying to post weekly, and I found out I was pregnant, I was still trying to film videos, and I even shot a couple of videos. I went out and got like some nice like high expensive makeup and was like doing videos on it, but I was so uncomfortable and really sick and nauseous that I couldn't get myself to post the videos. I just didn't feel myself. I wasn't giving the videos all my energy because I had no energy. So let me fill you guys in now that you know I'm pregnant. I'm almost 6 months now. So in the beginning of my pregnancy, I was really sick. And with Logan, my first pregnancy, I never was sick. I had morning sickness maybe like 1 week out of the entire 9 months, and I dealt with heartburn, and that was it. You know, I was fine. It was like such an easy pregnancy. With this baby, no lie, every single day, all day, 24 hours a day, every day for 4 months, I was sick. I was so sick that I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't, I didn't have much of an appetite. The only thing I could really hold down was pizza or white pasta, of course. But I would try to eat healthy. You know, I still try to maintain a healthy diet, and I would literally throw up every time I had fruit. Every time I try to eat something healthy, I would throw it up. Like, literally all I couldn't hold down was like starch, like bread, white bread, and things like that. And it was so hard, you guys. And even during that time, I still managed to make it to my weekly therapy appointments. But it was the hardest time of my life that I've ever had to deal with, besides all the loss that I've gone through. I've never had that kind of, you know, pain before. So for all you mothers out there who had morning sickness, for all you expecting mothers who are going through it, or even for people that have no idea, morning sickness can be really hard, and not just on your body but on your mind. You know, there was times where I was in so much pain, all I could do was just curl up in a ball and cry, and just cry and cry and cry, because nobody understands. And you know, I try to talk to my family about it, but they're just so happy that there's a baby coming that they're like, oh, you'll be fine, you'll get through it, you know. So it was really hard. It was a hard time. You know, and in the beginning, when I first found out, I wasn't going to tell anybody because I wanted to wait the 12 weeks. 12 weeks into your pregnancy, your chances of having a miscarriage dropped significantly. So I was gonna wait till that time to tell my family and even to tell Alex. The only people that knew were my two sisters, because, you know, God forbid something happened or I needed support, you know, at least I had someone that knew what was going on. So only my sisters knew. But it only lasted about a month because my morning sickness was so bad. And I would go to breakfast or dinner with my family, and, you know, I just couldn't even get through breakfast. I was just so uncomfortable, so nauseous, and I was trying to like keep up appearances and act like everything was fine, but in reality I was just dying inside. Like, it was so bad. So I finally decided to tell Alex. He was the next person, and he was over the moon, and we got it on the first try, by the way, because he had to convince me to have another baby. It wasn't something that I wanted right away. I was very, I couldn't see myself having another baby after losing Logan. It was just, like, you really needed to convince me. I just really was not having it, and he just, like, would talk about it all the time, like, we should just try again, you know. He had to really convince me. So after he convinced me, you know, we decided to try, and, you know, we planned everything out. I was taking prenatals, and we literally got it, like, on the first try. Like, I got pregnant right away. And so he was over the moon, you know. He was so happy. Nobody knew. It was just him and my sisters. And then I was gonna try to keep going the 12 weeks. You know, by that time I was probably like 4 or 5 months, 4 or 5 weeks. And I couldn't keep it anymore. I was so sick all the time that I was like, I have to tell my parents. Like, I can't keep hiding this. So eventually I told my mom, and then I told my dad, and so everybody knew, and everyone's been on board. Everyone's super, super excited and happy. So the pregnancy's going really well. After about 4 or 5 months, I stopped having morning sickness, thank God. So it's only been almost 2 months now since I've been clear of the morning sickness. But it was really, really, really hard, and that was the main reason why I had to stop YouTube. I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't even watch YouTube. That's how sick I was. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't eat. I was just like, everything hurt. Everything hurt. It hurt my head. My body hurt. I felt like I got sucker punched, and like I said, I had to deal with this every single day, every single hour for 4 months, and it was so hard, you know, because there really is no cure. Like, I would have mint tea, that helped a little bit, but it you know, that could only help for so long, 30 minutes, and then I'm back to feeling horrible. So thank God that it subsided, and now I'm feeling much, much better. You know, so I started feeling better, and I was like, okay, now I can maybe talk about my son, or maybe go back to doing YouTube videos. And then my poor grandmother, God rest her soul, passed. So that was about 2 weeks ago, and here I am. It's been a long 4 or 5 months, however long it's been, and I definitely thought about YouTube so much. I missed being behind the camera. I miss making videos. I miss the YouTube community. And I was kind of iffy too as to whether or not I should come back to do videos, because in the meantime, the only thing I've been working on is my comic book, which I finally finished the first episode. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I want to post it, like if I should do web hosting, if I should just post it for free, which I'll probably post it for free. So I'm just trying to figure that out. Once I get that figured out, you guys will be able to read the first issue. But yeah, so that is everything that's been going on so far, and that's probably why I look a little chubby too, you know, and I got a pregnancy glow, like, geez. But yeah, things besides the loss of my grandma and everything else, things are going really well. You know, we're still at my parents' house. We've been looking for apartments. I want to get out of here before the baby's due. The baby is due November. And the funny thing is that when I first went to the doctors, the due date based on my last period was November 24th, which is my mom's birthday. So we're just like, it's like so crazy. It just seems so surreal, you know, like everything happens for a reason and everything is meant to be. So however, because I did have an emergency C-section with Logan, he was so big, they had to cut across, the incision they made to get him out is like a T. So because they made that incision, my future babies all have to be cesarean. They all have to be C-sections, because if I try to have a natural birth or a vaginal birth, I could risk the I could risk tearing that incision. So I have to plan a C-section. We're looking at around November 15th, so that's probably when my baby is born. And I know what you're wondering. I know what you want to know. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? What's the deal? Well, everyone and their mother, like I'm talking psychics, family, people that I've, told that I was pregnant, they all told me it was going to be a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl. It's going to be a girl. God's going to give you a girl. So we got a genetic testing done, because now you don't have to wait 20 weeks for the anatomy scan to find out the sex of the baby. They do some kind of blood test now where they can look at the baby's DNA and see whether it's a boy or a girl. So we found out, I want to say around 14-15 weeks. And it's going to be, drum roll please, it's a boy. Yeah, I said it. It's a boy. It's another boy. I don't think my son could make girls. I think he only makes boys. He comes from a family of all boys. So we're really excited, and I still want a girl. So in the future, I want to have a girl so bad. Like, I really want a girl, but I'm so happy I'm having a boy, because when everyone was telling me, you're going to have a girl, it's going to be a girl, in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking about how much I miss having a son, how much I miss, how much I miss having a son, how much I miss having a little guy running around. And, I would pray to God, like, I just really want a boy. I miss having a boy. And I feel like, it was an answer to my prayers. But maybe one day I'll have a girl. But I'm so happy. We're all really, really excited. And for the name, this is pretty official. I mean, I don't think we're going to change it. Everyone's been calling the baby this, so we're just going to stick with it. But we're going to name him Theodore, and for several reasons. The main reason being because short for Theodore is Teddy, and my son loved bears, and we just thought it'd be kind of cute and fitting to call him Theodore. We can call him Teddy or Teddy Bear, or even Theo, and we kind of like that name. And when I looked up the meaning of the name, it meant God's gift, so I kind of felt like that was very fitting for the situation. And yeah, I don't know, since we kind of came up with that name on a whim, like everybody that knows about the pregnancy has been calling the baby Teddy already, so it's just kind of stuck. I don't think we're going to change it. I think his name is going to be Theodore Rose. We just need to figure out if we want a middle name, so I'm not sure what I want to do about middle names yet. So if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear, what you guys come up with, because I'm not really sure what I want to name him. For the middle name, Logan's middle name was Alexander, which is Alex's name, so I think it'd be weird if I used that name again. I don't want to do that. So if you guys have any cool ideas, leave them down below so I could check them out. So yeah, little Theodore Rose will be born November 15th-ish, around that time. And we're really, really excited, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait. And so, like I said, we're in the process of looking for apartments. We want to try to get out of here before that time, so that we can have, a nursery set up and all that set up. So there's a lot of pressure on Alex right now. I stopped working, and I stopped going to, I was doing a temp agency, and they had found me a couple jobs and put me on a ton of interviews. And of course, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, because I was nauseous, I was still going to interviews and just feeling horrible and bloated. I couldn't even fit into like interview clothes, you know, work clothes. And Alex said, you know, you don't have to work. Like, let me just take care of you and take care of the baby. Like, you can worry about working later on, you know, once the baby gets here. So I stopped working. I stopped trying to get a job. So really all I've been doing is just finishing up my comic book. I haven't really done that much writing in a while, because the book I was working on is just, it kind of fell apart. You know, I started it before Logan was born, and then after the loss, it was really hard for me to continue working on that book. So I kind of put it aside for now, but I still think about it. I still think of ideas and how I can piece it together, and hopefully I'll get back to it. But I just been working on my comic book, and just for future reference, if you guys do decide to check out the comic book once I post it, just know this is my first time really working like in the digital media. Like, I've done some stuff on Photoshop, but I'm really not that good at it. I'm a beginner. I'm just learning how to do shadows and cell shading and all of that, and even just working with digital art. I'm new. This is like, this comic book that I just did is like the first thing I've ever really done as far as digital artwork. So keep that in mind, you know. But I think you guys will like what I have so far. It's not like a full-on Marvel comic. It's really simple, just a quick, the first episode is just, when I read it back, I felt like it moved really fast. So as I keep pumping out episodes and stuff, hopefully the way it comes together will, you know, it'll build up and become more and more professional and better, in my opinion. But I'm really excited for you guys to see that, so definitely stay tuned for that, because that has gotten me through so much. I mean, I carry my tablet everywhere. I'm just constantly working on my comic book all the time. So the only thing I need to do before I decide to post it is I want to do like a cover for it, so a cover page, and I need to do like one more page as an add-on to help kind of transition the story a little better. And once I do that, then I'll post it. Like I said, it's not perfect. A lot of webcomics, from what I've been reading, is something that gets better as you post more and more and more, just like YouTube videos and just like everything else, you know. When it comes to doing stuff yourself online, it always gets better as you do more. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. And I really want to vlog again and do more videos, but I can't guarantee anything, because I want to give all my energy to my comic book, because I am pregnant. I still, you know, I try to do a little bit of exercising. I'm also playing a new video game. It's a role-playing game, and I haven't really gotten into video games for a while. So so that's kind of been taking up some of my time, but I think I'm like halfway through it. So once I finish that up, because, you know, playing a video game is important when you're, I guess, a nerd like me. I don't know, but I gotta do something while everyone else is working and I'm kind of stuck at the house, hot and pregnant. But yeah, stay tuned for potential future videos. I really want to get back into it. And for those of you that have been reaching out lately, you know, in regards to my loss, reaching out to me on YouTube and stuff, it really means a lot to me. You know, these are strangers that have reached out to me, that send me the kindest words, the kindest comments, and it helps with the pain. It helps to know that I'm not alone, and even to know that other people are going through the same thing, and it just means a lot. So thank you so much to people that have been supporting my journey and supporting my channel. It really means a lot. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I do apologize for it being so long. I had a lot to get off my chest, so I'm really glad to see you guys again. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.